What's good, y'all? It's the I'm back. Energy with Chuggy, and I just want to talk about this video about how we can manage to talk to each other and listen to each other better. That's what the video is about. The video is about learning how to talk to each other and learning how to understand each other better. That's what this video is going to be about today. And to be honest, this video is one of those videos because I feel like I had a situation with my family. Sometimes you listen to your family and you talk to your family, but it feels like your family is not listening to you how you listen to them. You know what I'm saying? So it feels like you gotta tell your parents that what they're doing wrong and what they're not seeing right in you. You have to be able to look at that from a point of view and be able to understand that, like, if a person is telling you, if you're telling a person they're not listening to you and they're not understanding you from your point of view and not understanding from how you feel or where you come from, it can mess your mind of thinking up. It can mess up how you feel about what you feel about your opinion. Because the person might not respect your opinion. They might not care about what you say, or they might not care about how you feel in the moment about it. A person can listen to you and not even understand you. A person can understand you and not even listen to you. And I have to realize those are two different things. When you're listening to me, it's different from when you're talking to me. See, when you're talking to me, it's different from how you're listening to me. So it's not all the same thing. And when I'm understanding things how another person understands things, it'll also be how we understand each other. If everybody knows the truth how I know the truth, then you should know the truth how I do too. And there is no difference behind what you know, behind what I know. Because if we understand the same truth of the same situation, of the same problems, then we know what's truthful and what's not truthful. And we know what's true and we know what's not true. So that's one of the biggest things that you have to separate when you're talking to your family and you're talking to things about what you're going through and how you're feeling, what your emotions and what your mind and what your soul and how you feel with your life, about how they treat you, how they deal with you. That's the biggest thing. I feel that's the biggest deal breaker, is knowing that if your family never listen to you and they never understand what you say, you have to be able to take accountability for your words and your actions and be soulful and be spiritual about what you say, what you do. And that's one of the biggest things, I think, is knowing what you're supposed to say and how you're supposed to say it and how you say it. My parents, I feel like certain families were brought up certain ways. They was brought up with different principles, different ways of thinking, different ways on acting, and different ways on how they treat people. Those are different type of ways on how they deal with people. Because of their principles, because of their background, because of how their family taught them, because of their house, because of the rules they came by living in the household, and the way they needed to respect people. They felt like they needed to be respected because they never were respected by other people. And I think that's what it is too. A lot of this generation, they hurt. Like a lot of people back in the days. That's our, parents. People before has been going through things before you have. Meaning that if I haven't been going through the things that my parents haven't been going through, then it's because I wasn't going through it and they never seen nothing wrong with me. But think about it with your family or with your friends or with your family. You know what I mean? Think about that with yourself or with your friends or with your family. How they look at that. That's why I feel like everybody has to be taught a lesson when they talk, when they're supposed to be able to learn from it. It's not about how long you've been on this earth. It's not about how long you did things. It's not about how you did things and how you instructed things and how you did things and all that. I don't mean nothing. A person could do something very well for so long and then lose how they did it. And then lose how they did it. That's one of the things. Is knowing that if you can put your life in a direction of knowing that you are listening to one another and understanding each other from a very standpoint of view, then you guys can always be able to not be upset be upset behind what you're upset about. Everybody don't have to be like everybody else. That's the thing. I think that's the problem with people. My parents feel like I gotta be just like them. I gotta act just like them. I gotta behave their way. I gotta act their way. I gotta be like them. I gotta talk like them. I gotta feel like them. I gotta all that. I don't have to be like them. I told my parents a long time ago. I said I am who I am. I'm not who you think. I am who I am. I'm not what you think you thought you wanted me to be. You feel me? I am who I am at the end of the day. I'm my own man. I'm my own person. I'm not no other man. Even if I was similar to how a man is, or whatever, or how a woman, or however people think they know me as, or whatever, I don't know. You know? So, if you know me, then you understand me. If you don't know me, then you don't understand me, because you don't know who I am. You don't know how I talk to you. You don't know how I talk to people. You don't know how I deal with people. You don't know how I act with people. You don't know how much people. You don't know how people will deal with you if you don't know how to deal. If they don't know how to deal with you. And dealing with them sometimes can be a challenge because they don't know you, or because they don't know your life, or they don't know how you are. They don't know how things went, or how different it was when you grew up and how you was taught. Everybody was taught a different way. So I think that's why I feel like, me as a man myself, I'm going to always be who I am, no matter what my parents tell me, no matter how my parents want me to be, or no matter how they want me to, or no matter how they think I am. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the biggest things, is knowing that if I want somebody to understand me, then they gotta know me. If a person's gonna understand me just like I understand them, then that means I know them just like they know me. I shouldn't have to keep leaping around manipulation. I shouldn't keep leaping around intimidating you. I shouldn't keep leaping around hiding the way I feel about you, or feel about the things you've done to me, or feel about the way you've talked to me, or feel like the way you've handled things with me, or handled things against me. It don't matter. Just know that I know you just like you know me. And whatever you know, I might know it just as much as you do. But it might not be in my mind to know that it's there now. But knowing that I can understand it because of what you've told me and what you said to me is something different than what I don't know if you never said it. That's how I look at it. Everybody in our life, we all have to be truthful, straight, and respectful, and just directly towards each other better. That's it. We just gotta be directed and everything toward each other better, and know how to talk to each other better, and learn how to respect each other better. We need to all learn how to do all that better. Because everybody in this generation, trust me, everybody in this generation of parents, of motherhood, all that, is messed up. It's messed up. With motherhood, with fatherhood, with wanting to protect their children, from wanting to put their children in good positions. It's all messed up on how people think it's supposed to be. And I think that's the problem, because we don't know what's really right from what's really wrong. We think that we're supposed to keep doing things wrong even if it's right. Sometimes we think doing something right. Sometimes we get it mixed up. Sometimes the situations get mixed up and confused. Because I might be as wrong as just as this person is right. I might be as wrong as just as much as this person is right. And I might be just as right as this person as much as they are as wrong. So, no matter who's wrong or who's right, we all gotta see what's wrong and what's right in the situation of each other. And that's the real truth, and that's the real thing behind it. How can we fix things and do better? How can we do better to fix things? That's what I look at. I don't look at, I think that's how everybody should look at it. How can we do things to change for each other to do better for one another? And how can we fix how to do that? How can we be better with that? You know, and I think that's one of the biggest things of knowing that how can you change the relationship of the algorithm of the way y'all life was set up to be, or the way y'all life was being, you know. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is knowing what you can change around you versus what it makes out of you. And I'm not letting it take over me or make me what I'm not supposed to be. No. Because I am who I am at the end of the day, and that's what God made me to be, a man, not a woman. And I'm just going to understand it just as much as a woman and a man understand as well. And that's not going to be out of proportion at all. So, like I say, it's all about being right versus it's all about being right versus what's being wrong. You know, so I think that's one of the biggest things, is knowing that. And, you know, being able to understand and really being able to talk about those things, you know, so that's all it is. But yeah, it was The Voice. Good Energy was Chuggy, and I'll be back with another video soon. Y'all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, good morning, good evening, and peace.